Okay, so yesterday we looked at how to graph just a normal sine curve. So let's just refresh our memory a little bit. So when you see it written as an equation, you're going to see sine of x. So this is how you actually spell sine. This is a short version of it. Same with cosine. So cosine has the C-O-S-I-N-E, but when you write it here, it's just C-O-S, kind of like on your calculator. Anyway, so we have sine, and then so sine graph, remember it goes up to 1 and it goes down to -1. These in the middle. So whenever you graph a sine curve, you're always going to put 4 little dashes. For just sine of x, this is actually going to be at 2 pi, and then half of 2 pi is here. This is pi. I am not a huge, I do not care if you put these two in, as long as you have the last one and this middle one. So 2 pi and pi, you're good. Okay, then we have that little saying, O high, O low, O. So O talks about 0, so we go from O, and then we go to the next little dash, we go high, then we go to the next dash and we go O, then next little dash we go low, and then back to O. And don't forget, this is just one cycle of the sine curve, so really this keeps going forever and ever and ever this way, and it actually keeps going forever and ever this way. But we only care about one cycle for now. All right, so now we have to talk about how we can shift this up and down and how we can stretch it. So like this point would maybe be up here and this point would be down here. So let's first start with something that's called the amplitude. So the amplitude is half the distance from your max to your min. Okay, so if you look at this, our max is 1, our min is at -1. So what's that distance from 1 to -1, or from -1 to 1? Okay, well that distance is 2, and we want half of that, so it's 1. So the amplitude, okay, so let's do an example. So an example would be y equals 3 sine of x. So this number right here, this number out front, this is always going to be your amplitude. So if you go back up to this one, what number is out front? Oh, it's a 1. Technically, there's a 1 right here. So our amplitude, which is half the distance from your max to your min, is 1. So from here to here is 1, and from here to here is 1. So this one, let me draw my graph quick. Okay, you got to put the 4 little dashes. This is always going to be 2 pi until next week. And then this one will be pi. Okay, so now our amplitude, it's saying that this is going to, let me re-say that. Okay, so this number, if you double it, that's the distance from your highest to your lowest point. So if I double this, what's the distance from the highest to the lowest point? Well, that's going to be 6. Okay, so we haven't talked about moving our graph up and down yet. So our x-axis, this is actually going to be the middle of our graph. So if this is the middle, we know we're going to go up 3 from here and down 3 from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So our high point is going to be at +3. So I like to draw in lines of where my high point is at. And our low point is going to be at -3. I like to draw that. So this is our low. Everything else is going to stay the same. So we're still doing O, high O, low O. So we're going to start at O. We go to the next dash, we go high, but now our high point is going to be at 3. So O, high, we go back to O, then we go low, and then we go back to O. And that's how you graph that one. Okay, so let's do another one. Actually, let's move on to y-displacement. So we have something that's called y-displacement. So y-displacement is just shifting your graph up and down. Okay, so an example of that one, let's see. If I have y equals sine of x, let's just do +2. So this, whenever you add or subtract something from the end, this is going to be your y displacement. And all it's doing is shifting your graph up and down. Okay, so make our graph 4 little points. This one's at 2 pi, and this one's going to be at pi. Okay, so now instead of the x-axis being the middle of our graph, this is the middle of our graph. So I like to put in what I call a, quote, fake x-axis at wherever this is. So instead of it being at 0, this is at 0, now it's going to be at +2. So our graph is going to be shifted up. So this, put a dashed line, is our, quote, fake x-axis. So this is going to be our new O. What is our amplitude? Well, there's just a 1 here. So that means from this dashed line, we're going to be going up 1, and we're going to be going down 1. So I'm going to put those lines in like this. So our graph is going to be in between these 2 purple lines, and then the center of it is at the blue dashed line. So let's go ahead and graph it. So we're starting at O, but remember, since it has a y displacement, we have to go to our, quote, fake x-axis. So we moved that up here. So this is my new O. Then we go to the next dash, we go high. We go to the next dash, we go O. Next dash, we go low. O high, O low, and then back to O. So this is our sine graph with a y displacement of +2. Okay, so let's do a couple where we actually mix it all together. So let's see here. Let's try y equals, let's do 2 sine of x. Let's do -3. So we'll start by drawing my graph. Put the 4 little dashes. This is 2 pi. This is pi. All right, so when you see something where you have an amplitude and you have a y displacement, always start with your y displacement. So when I do my y displacement, remember this is the thing that's shifting your graph up and down. So you're going to take this -3, and this is going to be your fake x-axis. By the way, if you say that to any other teacher, they're probably going to think you're nuts. But it has seemed to work in my classes. Okay, so we're going to go down to -3. And we're going to make a fake x-axis. Make that in a dashed line. Okay, so then you go and you look at your amplitude. So our amplitude means that from our fake x-axis, so this was our amplitude, from our fake x-axis, we're going to go up 2, because this is a 2, so we're going to go up 2, and we're going to go down 2. So up 2 would be here, down 2 would be here, and then I like to draw those lines in. You do not have to by any means, but then it's easy to know exactly where your graph is going to be. So we start at O, go to the next dash, and then you go high. Our high is just this purple line. Go back to O, go to low, and back to O. So O, high, O, low, O. And you're done. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do y equals, I don't care, 4 sine of x. Let's do plus 1. Okay, so you draw your graph. Make your 4 dashes. So this is 2 pi, this is pi. All right, so always start here. And I'm going to make that my fake x-axis at 1. So I'm going to make that just a dotted line. Okay, then you go to your amplitude. So my amplitude is 4. So from this, I know I'm going to be going up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to make a line there. And from our new x-axis, I'm going to be going down 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you mark your points. So we start at O, but remember it's from your fake x-axis. So O, then I go high, which is way the heck up here. Then I go to O, so O, high, O, then I go low, and then back to O. So O, high, O, low, O. And that is that graph.